Hi, Grandma and Grandpa.
Hi.
Thank you for letting us do this legacy interview with you.
Okay.
We're going to start with question 1. What is your full name, Grandma?
My name is Dolores Ilona Garrick Segala. Now, you want to know what the Ilona means?
Yes, please.
It's from my grandmother. My father's mother was named, and she was Czechoslovakian. That translate to English, Helen, and that's it.
Oh, interesting. I never knew that. So glad I asked.
And what about you, Grandpa? What is your full name?
Chester Bernard Segala.
Do you have any history with the Bernard that you'd like to
My
share?
grandfather's.
Okay.
All right, so you both got passed down. All right, question number 2. Did you guys ever have any nicknames?
Well, everybody called me Del, D-E-L, which his cousin christened me with, and I just disliked it because I don't like shit. When Erica was born, they said, "What are you going to call her for short?" What? Anyway, yeah, Del.
Del.
D-E-L, yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Chester?
When I grew up, I lived with my sister and my cousin Odette, and they couldn't pronounce Chester, so they called me Boy.
Oh.
And my father still called me Boy till he died.
Really? I never knew that.
Did you think it was a term of endearment?
I don't know what that means.
like they cared about you.
Just a nickname.
All right.
Grandma, when were you born?
1930.
And Grandpa?
1930.
Okay.
Wow.
And
And
what-
what days? Because Grandma, you're very close to Grandpa.
I was born on Thanksgiving that year.
On November 27th.
1930?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Grandpa, your birthday?
Armistice Day.
Armistice Day,
And the Great War ended.
November 11th.
Right.
Right.
All right.
1930. Oh, it didn't happen in 1930.
All right.
And
Where were you born? Oh, that's weird.
I was born in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
And do you know which hospital?
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's?
Grandpa?
No idea.
No
Probably
idea.
Bridgeport, I guess.
Were you named after anyone?
I certainly was. My mother, I don't know whether she was a movie enthusiast, but Dolores Del Rio, I don't know if you ever heard the name.
I haven't.
She
Yeah.
was a great, at the time, Mexican actress, a beautiful girl.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother, she was pregnant, I guess. I went to see this movie with her. That was the name.
And she loved the name Dolores.
Yeah.
What about you, Grandpa? Besides your middle name,
What's the question?
was your
Were you
your
named
Chester,
after anyone?
Was your Chester
My other
name?
grandfather.
Oh, okay. So Chester was one grandfather, and then Bernard was your other grandfather. Okay.
Chester was my mother's father.
Okay.
Bernard was my father's father.
Okay.
All right. So our next question is, what did your mother do during the day?
My mother was employed at Woolworths. I don't know if you know the name.
Yes.
Downtown on Main Street in Bridgeport.
That's the old pharmacy, right?
No, well, it was a kind of a, not a pharmacy.
No?
Well, maybe there was a pharmacy.
Or like convenience store?
Well, it was a high class kind of thing. I mean, and not that it was selling garments and everything, but I forgot what tchotchke things, well, house supplies. I
Okay.
assume, okay. Anyway, very popular because there weren't too many of them around. And she was like your mother. She was the mainstay of the office. She was like
The office manager, kind of.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So
So she
did-
ran the show?
Yeah, she did. I mean, there was a manager and then her, but they were very tight. And naturally, the woman ends up doing, all the numbers work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grandpa, what did your mom do during the day?
Wait a minute. Your mother bought a business.
No. She asked me what my mother did at the time.
What time?
Like while you were growing up, what did your mom do? Did she work? Did she just stay home and raise
She
kids?
stayed home.
Okay.
And what do you remember most about your parents, Grandma?
I remember that she was very strong, a strong-willed person. Everything. Showed her likes and dislikes, and very disciplined. And she came from a long 9 children in the family without a mother. And they had a very bad history because without a mother, they were like orphans. They went to different homes and all this kind of stuff, and the family broke up. But she was, and she had to fight all the time, you know, for recognition and all that. And then that's why she developed a very strong character. But otherwise, maybe she was one to begin with, but she was, very determined, knew what she wanted all the time,
That's
and
good.
very hard worker and all that. So,
You want to share anything about your father?
my father, well, I love my father because he's the image, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was a tall, lanky guy,
Mm-hmm.
very quiet. He was I don't know if you come to, you asked what they did. He was a truck driver. At one point, he had a trucking company.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, because this was during the Depression, besides whether it was that or the drinking or whatever, he failed in that business. But he was just a very unassuming guy. You know, naturally you love your father, whatever his qualities. But that's what I remember about him.
Okay. What about you, Grandpa? Anything you remember about your parents? Nothing that stands out?
My father was a head waiter in the Bridgeport area.
Mm-hmm.
He was always working at night, so I never saw him.
Mm-hmm. What about your mom?
She was home all the time.
What was she like?
What do you remember most about her?
She was I think, a very honest person. Never said anything bad about anybody. That kind of person.
Nice.
And she was a good piano player.
Hmm?
And she was a good.
Excellent piano player. Because I played the clarinet and the saxophone with her.
Do you want to tell the story of how she became a good piano player?
Her father made her play the piano.
Her father and mother?
Her father.
Really?
I thought her father used to make her wake up when she was younger and play for the boys when he got home.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about what your mother and father did for a living. Let's see. Describe your home or your homes.
I mean, where I lived.
Yeah, when you were younger.
Okay, well, the first thing, I was in Bridgeport in Staples School, so my grandmother on my father's side owned a 12-family house, and we lived in one section of that till I left grammar school.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to live with my aunt, who had a big apartment on, I don't know if you know where the Ocean Sea Grill was on Main Street.
No.
Well, there's 2 theaters. Do you remember where there were 2 theaters? The Lowest Point and the Majestic, right? And then up above there were, so we were up with maybe 3, I don't know how many stories. She had this big apartment. So we lived with her while I went to high school.
Oh.
And then my mother bought a house in, that Trumbull? No, that's
Bridgeport
Bridgeport.
Avenue, Trumbull.
On Burnsford Avenue. And
Bridgeport.
That's Bridgeport, yeah. And I went to Staples, Sheridan School there. And that's where I first saw her.
That's where she met Odette, my cousin, who introduced her to me. And we met when we were 13 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've had a long history.
What were your homes like growing up? Did you live in a house, apartment?
I visited all of them. Ask your mother.
Yeah.
She's had to go to all of my houses.
Oh, yeah, and you took her on the tour. And you ever went on the
No.
tour? Oh, yeah.
So was it in the Bridgeport area?
Yep.
Nice.
In Bridgeport, definitely.
How many houses did you go through growing up?
Well, we went Union Avenue, 1, 2, 3.
3?
That's all?
Well, not in Milford, 4.
Yeah, you take me on a long ride, so it has to be more than
You lived in Milford?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Were there any great inventions that happened
Well,
during your time
you
growing
know,
up?
I reflected on that when I read that again. You know, it was probably a haze at that time because you're growing up and things are there and you know they don't have an impact on you
Right.
until you grow up. But I do remember the TV. You know,
TV?
yeah, that's all I remember. Oh, one thing I remember is that we had what they called an ice box. Nobody had a refrigerator. They didn't. So every week, I guess, the ice truck went down the street, and you have a sign in the window you know. And
If
you
you
put it
needed
a
ice.
certain way, how you know, if you wanted or not wanted.
That's so cool.
And they delivered. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that very. And then every week, in the good weather, the vegetable truck used to come by. And they had fresh vegetables, so they would go down the street, and all the housewives would come out and buy there
So how did you keep food cold before that?
with the ice box.
Before the ice box, or you
Well,
always had it?
Oh yeah, oh that really yeah.
When did refrigerators become popular?
Well, I guess in the 40s. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
I don't know dates and time. But
Mm.
that was a long time. That well, when you're
But
young,
when you were younger,
when you're young, you think things are years and years and years. But I don't know how long we had.
Right.
But it was because I think it was a long time because it was quite memorable. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Anyway.
Grandpa, can you remember anything besides the TV and the ice box while you were growing up? That was like a new
Yeah.
invention.
We had coal, they had to deliver coal to the house.